Hey, what's going on, everybody? So today we're going to be looking at Jared Genesis. Jared Genesis and his many other alternate channel names is a person I first heard about when watching EFAP, and then again when I was recommended Danknut's video on him, which is a very good video. Highly recommend. I actually recommend his whole channel. But needless to say, Jared is an interesting individual. He's a 30-year-old man living with his parents with no job and no desire to get one, that records and streams videos from his room and says and does things that are either dumb as hell but oddly entertaining at best, or actually horrifying and jail-worthy at worst. So for fun, and since it matches the way my notes are for this video, we're gonna do this in the Iceberg style. I feel that it's thematically appropriate given my channel, might as well. So we're gonna start at the top and work our way down, one topic at a time, with the most fucked up shit saved for last. There'll be timestamps for this in the description and chapters on YouTube. Alright, let's go. Jared's room looks like something a teenage hoarder would have, and he is known for posting videos wearing the same unwashed shirt for multiple days. And in some instances, in a lot of instances, not even some, I don't know why the hell I said that, he will record videos not wearing a shirt at all, because I guess alpha males like Jared don't need to clean or wash their clothes or make sure their room doesn't look like a disaster or look for jobs. That's what beta male cucks, as he likes to call people. Do you like sci-fi? Do you like superhero teams? Well, you might want to check out my book, Renegades Volume 1 Rise, now available on Amazon, both physical and digital. Set in the far future, humanity accidentally crossed over into another dimension while trying to escape a dying Earth. They arrived at a mirror Earth called Terra, inhabited by sentient humanoid animals called Terrans. Humans and Terrans coexisted for a little while, but they eventually went to war. After 10 years of brutal warfare, they eventually found peace. Our story is set 50 years later. A madman named Ivan and his terror cell called Scythe are searching for a dangerous weapon that will allow them to take over the world. The only people who can stop them are the Renegades, a ragtag group of misfits including a teenage girl trained to be a soldier since she was a child, a teenage delinquent with a hoverboard, two super geniuses, a former heavyweight pro boxer with cybernetic augments, and a mysterious blue creature with no memories and the ability to manipulate water and ice. In order to stop Ivan, the Renegades will have to take on giant mechs, evil megacorporations, terrorists, cyborg ninjas, and more in their exciting debut. You can pick up the digital version for 99 cents or the print version for 17 bucks. You can also read the book for free as serials on my Wattpad and Minds accounts. They are updated every other week with a new section. So, I've said that Jared had a lot of different channels. One of them was called Punky J. He made a lot of videos on Boogie 2988. He really does not like Boogie. I'm not a fan of Boogie either. I mean, I've made 2 videos on the guy highlighting his manipulative behavior and his annoying patterns on Twitter. Well, he'll say something stupid that you know is gonna piss off people, and then when he gets backlash on it, he'll then turn around and play victim and start up a pity wave. But Jared goes about criticizing Boogie in just a really stupid way. There was even a point where he went as far as to question Boogie's abuse stories, because Boogie has talked about how he was abused as a child and everything, which is, you know, fucked up. But Jared either would, at one point he questioned, he's like, yeah, this didn't happen, or yeah, I don't believe it. And he even said Boogie deserved it because he didn't fight back. I don't think I need to say how messed up that is. He would also say really just random shit to try to be funny, I guess.
Boogie 298, I want your sweet ass, and I'm gonna fuck you right in the pussy, bitch, vagina, testicles.
This eventually led to him earning the title of the Boogie Stalker. I believe it was Reddit that coined this, and Jared did not like that he had gotten the attention of Reddit, and he made an entire video about it.
A lot of douchebags shared my videos on this fucking website, and I knew they did. But it's recently been confirmed by a few people now that they did. So I guess I'm some like Reddit celebrity. Oh yay, you know, fucking super, as if I don't have enough elitists on my tail. But yeah, that's exactly what Reddit is. It's basically a breeding ground for fat, disgusting, cringe lord, entitled losers.
Jared likes martial arts, but he doesn't seem to be very good at it, which leads to a pretty funny story where he went to a martial arts dojo run by Jason David Frank. Yes, that Jason David Frank, the guy who played the original Green Ranger from Power Rangers. Jason had him spar with one of his students who is also named Jason, and, well, things didn't go very well for Genesis.
I hate Jason David Frank. He is the biggest cum guzzler I've ever met in my life. If you don't know who this young man is, he was the Green Mighty Morphin Power Ranger back in the 90s. And he was also a bunch of fucking other Power Rangers. In other words, he likes to wear spandex because he's a cunt. And he's a fucking idiot, dude. I fucking hate his face. I met him at his stupid martial arts studio he has here in Kingwood, Texas called Rising Sun Karate. Cha. In like MMA. Ooh, I'm an MMA dude too. I went over there to his karate place one time just because I love Power Rangers. That's a rad series. I'm not gonna hate on Power Rangers. Like, I set up an appointment just to do a little sparring, you know what I'm saying? Just to get my spar on with someone. And the guy was the biggest piece of shit I ever met in my life, man. His name was Jason Felton. And this scrawny ass, ugly looking motherfucker was such a douchebag to me, man. He was like, I don't know what it was, dude. He was just being really like hostile, like in a weird, manipulative way because I like karate and he thought that I was an idiot because I like karate and shit like that. Like closed-minded MMA bullshit. And like, I was like, well, okay, I'll still spar with this guy because he's a nut job and I want to fuck him up because he pisses me off. I just like, I got in the ring and I'll admit, I just choked, dude. I froze because it was my first time sparring and, you know, he was pretty fucking tall. And so he beat my ass, man. He beat the shit out of me like a fucking redheaded stepchild. But it pissed me off so bad because Jason Frank, this so-called really respectable, you know, fucking 10th degree black belt motherfucker, he didn't stop the fight, dude. He watched me get pounded. He watched me take every hit from this stupid ass fucking little college frat boy, man. This fucking retard kid.
I really wish someone recorded this fight because I'm sure it was hilarious if it went down the way Jared described it. But looking at what Jared has volunteered and just overall some videos of him, I guess, demoing his martial arts, I think it's safe to say his martial arts need some work.
So here I am, you know, old fucking fat punk rocker in his 30s, with a bunch of kids, swinging my arms around. I look like a retarded penguin. I look like maybe a retarded orangutan. Maybe an orangutan that found some meth laying around. I looked so pathetic. I looked like I could get my ass kicked by a retard. And the truth of the matter is, I literally did get my ass kicked by a retard there. And I'm not trying to be like insensitive, but the kid was retarded, you could just tell.
Sometime after all of this, Jared did make a video saying he was giving up on becoming a professional martial artist. I gotta love with you. The thing about Jared is he seems like he learned most of his stuff on YouTube or watching movies and stuff, which is not the best way to learn martial arts. I think I'm putting that a little too lightly. He has had some experience in gym stuff, but it doesn't sound like it goes well for him. Jared was actually featured on the first episode of EFAP. That's Every Frame a Pause, not what you're probably thinking of when you hear the word FAP. This was way back when Dishonored Wolf or Word of Wolf, I always get his name messed up. I don't know why Word of Wolf is, I don't know. Anyway, that was back when he was still a mainstay on the podcast. The EFAP crew were having a fucking blast roasting Jared's views on Disney Star Wars, and they were perplexed by the state of his room. I think I can understand why they are perplexed by it. I'll play some clips. It is really entertaining.
You know, the different Star Wars characters, and I was just thinking to myself, like, what the hell? Why are they doing this? Like,
like, we'll get to the movie, but let me talk to you about going to Target with my mom.
When he goes there, he's like, he sees all these cursed, and he just puts he goes down on one knee and puts his hand to his chin, like, and stares at them, and like the workers are like, excuse me, sir.
Could you imagine, like, who's that Greek philosopher who has the statue of him thinking?
I think it's just the thinking man.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah. What if we had like the thinking Jared, like
Thank you,
completely shirtless like this? never know where it's gonna go or lead.
It's like a box of Jared's. You never know what you're gonna get.
He went to Jared's.
Let's be perfectly honest, we really do not know what we're gonna get with these videos.
I haven't seen a lot of old Star Wars movies all the way through because I felt like George Lucas was somewhat of a tryhard and he turned his movies down.
Somewhat of a He's like, okay, he's about to deliver a criticism of the OT. It's like, we're ready, let's go. And it's like, George Lucas is a tryhard.
The director's attitude.
What do you do with
that?
that?
He tried too hard to make good movies, so I'm not gonna watch them.
I have no idea what to make of that. He's a tryhard, okay.
Anyways, guys, I know I didn't really review.
Correct.
Why did you title it that?
Yeah, like remember after the you put in the title as it's rendering. You didn't have to call this The Force Awakens review.
Jared quickly became a meme with EFAP and in the EFAP community as a whole. I mean, it's not hard to see why, is it? But in his video where he was featured on EFAP, his points make zero fucking sense. Like, there's no way to sugarcoat it. He says George Lucas is a tryhard, yet he hasn't fully watched the original movies. So I don't know how he arrived at that conclusion in the first place. But I highly recommend watching the whole thing. It is in the description. It is pretty fucking funny. He also beefed with Rags at one point, about 6 years ago, when Rags made a video dunking on people who make terrible videos trying to shit talk PC gaming. Back then, he was using the Punky J channel. But in total, Rags made 4 videos about this. Let's just say Jared doesn't have very good arguments as to why he thinks why Xbox is better than PC. I don't think you guys are surprised by that.
The reason I prefer console gaming is because with my Xbox, man, I can plug it into anything. I can plug it into a computer. I can plug it into a TV monitor. It's portable.
You can do all those things with your PC as well. This is not an advantage for the Xbox. In fact, it's probably a disadvantage for the Xbox because if you plugged your computer into a computer monitor, only the computer would be actually strong enough to take advantage of the computer's higher refresh rates, higher resolution, less input lag.
And it acts just like a computer. I have apps, I can get on the internet.
You can do your taxes on your Xbox. You can have multiple apps running simultaneously without a performance hit. You can edit videos just like this one. You can go to G2A and buy a game at a $22 discount. You can customize your game's files. You can watch a YouTube video on your right monitor while you're browsing an article on your left monitor, while editing aforementioned video on your middle monitor.
This led to Jared responding to Rags, which led to Rags responding to Jared. You know, the usual response video back and forth. Responseception. I do have to highlight this really funny part in one of his responses.
Anecdotal example. I used to have a boyfriend who would only...
Oh my god, he's a queer. That doesn't surprise me. I'm sorry. No offense, but it doesn't.
That shit just kind of came out of nowhere. I knew his rebuttals to Rags were gonna be dog shit, pun intended, but that was another level. Other highlights is he keeps talking about a modem with PC gaming. I don't know what he's on about. I genuinely am trying to understand what he's trying to say here, and I can't.
Oh yeah, a lot of people would tell me that computers aren't more expensive than a console. Guys, that is such utter bullshit. I mean, you have to be a complete dumbass to say something like that. If you want to get a good fucking modem, that's gonna cost you like at least fucking $700. Within like $650 to $700.
I love how we just pulled numbers out of thin air. Just 650 to 700. Just that's the range that I decided it's going to be today. 500, 600, 800, 900, 2000. It's a different number every time.
I don't know if he's mixing up modem with a monitor or some other component. I don't know where the fuck he was going with that. I believe Rags actually got a community guideline strike over this for some reason. YouTube is YouTube, that's all I'm gonna say on that. But going back to EFAP, due to several of Jared's trolls urging him to do so, and some of the more unsavory things about Jared, which we will get into later in this video, EFAP eventually distanced themselves from him. That actually segues perfectly into my next point, talking about the trolls. Like, a lot of people who are just weird and do weird, goofy shit on the internet, Jared attracted a lot of trolls. And he has several noteworthy trolls that like to orbit him, and they're part of the reason why Jared tends to nuke his channels, because Jared as a person just seems to attract people who are just gonna make fun of him. But every time he nukes his channel, the trolls just find him again, so it's pretty pointless. The bigger trolls that exclusively focus on Jared, they had a group called the Brigade at one point, and each one of them had their own method for messing with Jared, ranging from re-uploading his old videos with the titles changed so they make fun of Jared, or turning his videos into memes through editing, and so much more. One major one is Jared A. Cuck. Fantastic name, he likes to call people cucks all the time. But I can only find an archive channel for that. I'm not sure what happened to the original, but Jared A. Cuck had a multi-part video series that was supposed to be a psychological analysis on Jared and was trying to prove that he is a sociopath. Sadly, I can only find one part of it. I don't know what happened to the original. Part 1 goes into the criteria for spotting a sociopath, but it has this long section that I think goes on a little too long, and it's about like a call on stream with like another troll of Jared's and stuff. It just dragged the whole pacing of the video down, and I don't think Jared is a sociopath, and in my opinion, Part 1 doesn't do a very good job of arguing that he is, but maybe they had a better argument in the later parts, but again, they're lost. I don't know where they are, I can't find them. But one troll of Jared's that I find particularly interesting is a guy named Chris, the 30-year-old boomer. First of all, that's a funny name for a channel. And second, what I find interesting is, for some reason, Jared flips out the most about Chris. Like, just Chris lives rent-free in Jared's head, which is odd because I would say Chris is probably the most tame. He really doesn't seem to do anything that I would even consider bad, honestly. Like, all he does is criticize him in his comment sections. Or Chris will do live streams where he looks at Jared's videos and then criticizes them and pokes fun at some of the stupid shit Jared says. Or he challenges Jared to fitness challenges, like, Jared, I challenge you to do 50 push-ups in X amount of time or something. Like, that's the worst things I've seen. That's the only things I've seen this guy do. I don't get why Jared loses his mind. But the other thing is, Chris's reason for trolling Jared is kind of weird, in my opinion. He justifies it because of the way Jared treats his father, and at the time, I guess Chris was trolling him the most. Chris had lost his father around that time, so I guess seeing somebody taking their father for granted when you just lost one just kind of pissed him off, and I guess it was like a way to cope with that. I don't think this is the healthiest way to do that, but there's worse ways you can cope, just saying. But Jared blames Chris for everything, even when it's not clear that Chris has had any involvement whatsoever. And it's just really bizarre. It leads into the next part of this. I can't accurately describe this meltdown in a way that I think will do it justice. So I'm just gonna have to show this one. Headphone warning, because he gets loud as fuck. This is some premium gamer rage comp tier stuff. And I am gonna have to manipulate the audio for this because Jared unfortunately has Lights Out by Breaking Benjamin playing in the background. So I will probably be pitch shifting this stuff down significantly just to try and dodge the claim. The original unedited version will be in the description if anything is hard to hear.
Yeah. Why don't you make me? I'll beat your ass if you come in here, man. I'm not playing. I'll beat your fucking ass, man. I'll beat your motherfucking ass, you hear me? I'll beat your motherfucking ass. Don't play with me, boy. Don't play with me, boy. God damn, you guys are making me fight my pain. Look at this shit. Just afraid about you guys. I'm gonna get you back for this quest. I'm gonna fucking get you back for this, you understand, you son of a bitch. You might get my computer taken away, but I'll get it back, don't worry. I'll get it back, motherfucker. I'll get it back, motherfucker. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Sick of this goddamn shit. I'm a cool ass man, motherfucker. God damn it. I don't need this goddamn shit. You motherfucker, Chris, listen to me, you piece of shit. I will have the last laugh with you. I will fucking have the last laugh. You may have fucking ruined my family, but I'm gonna find out where you live and I'm gonna fucking end your life. You understand that, Chris? I'm gonna fucking end your sad life, man. This isn't over yet, bro. I'm gonna fucking end you, Chris. I know your name, it's Christian Thurston, and I'm coming looking for you, Christian. I'm coming looking for you, Christian. I'm gonna fucking end your life. You understand that? I'm gonna end your sorry fucking life. I'm gonna switch your goddamn channel, Chris. I'm gonna end you.
Rolly, look! Niggas be wildin'!
I've seen some freakouts on YouTube, but god damn, I think that's one of the craziest ones I've seen in a while. I don't know. I just want to know like what provoked that, because it just seemed like the dad said something pretty normal, but he just went full ape shit about it. After that, he did get his internet taken away for a while, but he's uploading again, so I guess that didn't last too long. The channel I found this clip on is apparently run by Chris now. Chris is 30-year-old boomer, but it's now called Smegma Unlimited, which... Okay, that's funny. Alright, but now we gotta get into the really fucked up territory. You see, Jared has a really bad habit of hitting on underage girls online.
Yo, man, I was having kind of a shitty day because this girl kind of broke up with me. It was a dumb internet relationship anyway, though. And come to find out, she may have been a tad bit underage, and that's why that Thomas the Tank Engine guy was calling me a pedo.
Imagine getting arrested by the cops and your only defense is, officer, she was just a tad bit underage, so it's all good, right? Somehow I doubt that's gonna hold up in court. I mean, unless you were like 18, like recently turned 18, and the person you're trying to date is like 17 and you knew them beforehand or something, or both of you are in high school or something like that. But Jared is older than me. Like, this man is in his 30s, so yeah, that's not gonna fucking fly. I don't think I need to point out how inexcusable and fucked that is, but it's not the first time he said some fucked up shit like that.
I don't care about age. I date anybody. It doesn't matter. I don't follow society's rules. And, you know, people think ill of me for that, but it doesn't matter to me. I never cared about what people think of me, you know? That's why Chris calls me a pedo and all these funny names, you know, even though he's really just, I don't think there's a word that can describe his level of sickness, but if you feel you have chemistry towards someone, you know, like you connect in a spiritual way, then go for it. Whether they're, you know, 14, 48, 99, whatever, doesn't matter, dude. Sure, 12 is cool with me. That's great, man. See, the funny thing about adolescents is they never sold their soul yet. And so they still have purity in them. And if you can get one young like that, then that's freaking great. You know, most of the time, though, their parents probably wouldn't be cool with that, and that's understandable. But the funny thing is, a lot of parents are so stupid, and they insult their own children saying, you know, well, my kid can't date someone younger because their brain hasn't developed. Because basically, you know, it's like saying they're stupid. My kid's stupid. So I don't want them dating someone older because they're just going to make stupid choices because they're dumb. I mean, what kind of piece of crap parent says that? Hell yes, I would, dude. I would date an 11-year-old, 9-year-old, doesn't matter. I look in the spiritual aspect of it. If I spiritually connect to someone, it doesn't matter, dude. 99, 8, 1,000 years old, it doesn't matter. And if you think ill of me for that, that's on you. I really don't give a shit. So cheers, guys, for being here. Still got 46 in the chat.
I only played a small portion of that video, but the rest of it is showing entire conversations between him and people who say in the chat that they are minors. I don't know if these are sting operations or anything like that, but one of them that just really got under my skin, I mean all of them did, but this one specifically, was this one where the person he's talking to says they are 9. Like they flat out say in the chat that they're 9, and Jared says that's fine. And then they mention that they have a sibling that's 5 years old, and he also says that's fine. And by fine, I think you know where I'm getting at. I don't think the word inappropriate does that justice. I'll link the whole thing in the description if you want to sit through it. Like I said, it is pretty fucking messed up. Like, this man needs to be in prison. When these things that he said publicly blew up, people naturally started giving him way more shit for it and effectively ran him off YouTube. Then he tried to make an account on Rumble, but I guess people were calling him out on Rumble. And from what I understand, Rumble, you can't block users from commenting. You couldn't block those people's accounts from commenting. So he ended up abandoning Rumble and then moved to BitChute.
I just want to welcome you to my BitChute channel now, and if I look a little bit white, it's because I was wearing really thick sunblock. This to be exact. In Texas, you gotta have SPS 50, dude, or you will burn to a crisp. So, haters, you know, you can make your dirty comments in the chat, that's fine, I don't care. You know, I'm no longer in middle school, so it's not that amusing to me. But, always something with me in my videos, isn't it, guys? No, but seriously, I'm now on BitChute. Yeah, bro, Rumble didn't work out for me, man. I'm just gonna say this about Rumble, like, Rumble, I want to come back because I know you guys are the most conservative site, and that's really where I belong, but your site isn't finished, dude. And truth be told, I couldn't even freaking block my haters on there. All I could do was just delete their comments, and that's not fun.
He later came back to YouTube under the name Jared Juggernaut, where he has over 1.43k subscribers right now. But looking at the views on his videos, I don't think these are legit, because he can barely pull over 800 views on his videos, with the exception of one called Some Locale Shit, which oddly enough has over 6k views. That seems suspicious to me. It's almost as if they're bots. But no, Jared wouldn't do something like that, right? Right.
Guy, I just found out something really great. Really, I want to thank you, Toxic J, for your $50 donation. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I swear I'm not making this up. It was screenshotted. Mr. Toxic thought it was in his best interest to spend $50 on yours truly. That's right. He bought me 1,000 subs. That is quite hilarious, my friend. Funny thing is, I thought I just earned that, you know, shaking the man boobs around. I guess I was mistaken there.
Well, that explains a lot. He also has a Minds account that occasionally has posts that get a ton of comments, but very little likes, which seems really odd. And for some posts, when I click on them, I can't actually see the comments. Others I can see, so I'm not sure what's up with that. What is funny, and I almost missed this, is there's a post on July 5th where he's saying Toxic J, you know, the person who apparently bought him 1,000 subs, is a piece of fucking shit, so I guess Toxic is trolling him too. He still posts and uploads, but it seems like he's, for lack of a better term, screaming into the void. I would much rather prefer him rotting in a cell, especially if those logs of him talking to people who say they're minors is true. So that's a brief look into Jared Genesis. There's a lot more information, especially on recent events, that can be found on channels like Smegma Unlimited, which re-uploads a lot of his videos with more accurate titles to make fun of Jared and occasionally compiles clips of Jared's pedo shit. Some of the videos are kind of hilarious. There's a lot that seem like they're just kind of a drag, so you know, you really gotta sift through them and find the gems. But that's gonna be the end of the video. I hope that Jared doesn't do anything. I don't know. This guy, he seems a little bit unhinged. So yeah, if he ever left his house, I think he'd actually be a little bit dangerous. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in another video.